right, we're talking IPL once more because everyone is just still stunned, wondering why valuations have gone sky high. What does it tell us about what a big business venture and economic structure really the Indian Premier League has become? In a sense, it is dominating the sport of cricket overall, and you've seen that from reactions from global cricketing stars as well. We spoke to Sanjeev Goenka earlier in the day on ET Now, and he explained why he thinks it's a great investment. But before we get to that, let me go across to Atul Vasan and Harish Biju to get their take. Welcome to both of you. Great to have you all back on the India development debate. Harish, let me start with how you look at these massive valuations. We spoke to one of the bidders and they seem to think it's a great deal.
Oh, yes. I think, whoever has won it will always think it's a great deal for sure. If you really look at it, I think these are big numbers, very exciting numbers. And the numbers really talk about, something like nearly $1 billion for one team and the other team not being too far behind. And these are teams which are called Lucknow and the other is called Ahmedabad. So very focused efforts, pitching up the ante or taking, us all back to circa 2011 when we did have those 10 teams and we did have these many matches. So I think IPL has become a big business proposition. In the beginning, it was cricket. It then became cricketainment, and today it is a big business. The fact that international global players have looked at it makes the game even more global. So I think a fair bit of excitement here.
Yeah, it is massively exciting. Atul Vasan, as someone from the sport, how do you look at it? What is going to be the upside for the quality of the game? What are going to be the challenges as more and more expectations ride on this and more money rides on this?
Well, we got to understand that these people who have taken this call and people who are interested to pick up this product, I'm calling it a product because cricket is a part of this product. It's just not cricket; it's IPL, it's franchise cricket, and the way they've marketed has been a pure genius. And I think Sanjeev Goenka is a smart guy. He runs a $7 billion empire, and if he's investing into it, and he's esoteric, he's passionate about the sport. I know that from personal interactions. And I think people are not actually looking at it as a pure business. There's more to it. It's just like having the bragging rights. Having a sporting team is like any businessman who loves sport, and globally such. And people are not looking at just making pure profits. And the valuation from where we started a few years ago, maybe 12 years ago, and where we are, it shows clearly half the money is going to come from the television rights kitty. And then when you spread it over 10 years, 350 crores a year, for just owning an IPL team is peanuts for people who are running multi-billion empires.
Yeah. So, Harish Biju, does the business model seem fit to you? Do you think for these large conglomerates there's an added sheen that rubs off? I was watching one of Sanjeev Goenka's many interviews today, and in one of them he said that since I have a lot of business in UP, I was very keen on the Lucknow team. It will make consumers identify with me more. Do you think that really works, that kind of brand association?
Well, I'm not sure about that because there's a great degree of emotionality in these kind of pitches. For instance, the Adanis were very keen on Ahmedabad, the idea being Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and the Adanis. So over a period of time, what really happens is there are many, many revenue channels which exist out here. One is the own revenues that they generate as a team. Broadcast rights are going to go up. I mean, this gives us, this high bids give us a clear idea that broadcast rates are going to go through the roof now. And there's an estimation to say that it could go up to 36,000 to 40,000 crore. And that's a big number. And there's a sharing of that revenue. Then, of course, there are gate receipts which come in. There are, of course, other sponsorships. And, of course, there's merchandising. If I add up all this on a piece of paper, I don't get to a rational number as yet. So what it looks like is like it's a deep investment into the future 10 years. when I'm going to get a better value at the end of 10 years. And at the end of the day, I think, I'm buying a piece of the glamour world called cricketainment. And if I am in the glamour world of cricketainment, I belong to a clutch of industrialists who are the creme de la creme of India. I mean, starting with Mr. Mukesh Ambani, and I mean, going from the Reliance to every other business group. IPL is an amalgam of business, Bollywood, and a little bit of cricket. And that ownership is quite a vital ownership.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a matter of pride as well. Now, Atul Vasan, for the two new teams to really take off, Ahmedabad and Lucknow, how crucial will it be for them to get the big cricketing stars at the helm? I mean, the more teams you have, you still have only those many really big stars to go around in terms of cricket players. So, will they be able to bag those big names, and will it be very important that they bag those big names, or can they make a
Well,
start with a fresh young team?
well, this bounty for 30, 40 new cricketers and world stars. I mean, we'll see the valuations go up, and thank God there's a cap. Otherwise, if they remove the cap, some players will make millions and millions of dollars, and we might just be able to catch up with NBA and football in America. But I think it's good because we'll see more domestic stars being absorbed, more money going to the hands, more money percolating, people getting secure about the careers. And I think it's plus. And if the market is ready, if market economics is ready to give all that money to players, who are we to decide? And I'm happy because in our days there was a lot of insecurity, and we had to find another profession or do something else after we retire. These players are set for life. You don't even have to play for India to be set for life and be a real star because your mug is on TV every night. So I mean that probably I see the downside is that these players are just targeting to play IPL and not getting the India cap. This is what I see because I'm the chairman of Delhi Cricket now, and I see the change in attitude because everybody is just aspiring to play for IPL. And I say, who's going to play for Test cricket? Hardly any hands go up.
Yeah, Atul, I'm going to follow up on that because that really is what the purists sometimes talk about, isn't it? That is the whole crazy monies in IPL and the kind of fame it brings and how exciting it is overshadow the game sometimes, playing for your nation, even as you are saying?
It does, and it used to pain me a lot. But I've realized, and I'm a man of this world, and I realized that why hold it against a young kid who realizes that there are no jobs in the market. If I can just land an IPL contract, I play for a few years, I'll become famous. If I do well, I might catch the eyes of selectors faster. Because the other route, which you have to play Ranji Trophy, grind yourself, getting the Rani Trophy team, getting the Dilip Trophy team, and then catch the eye of selectors, is a long, winded road. Now people are just catching the eye of selectors in IPL and making the last grade as well. So I think the water finds its own level, and who are we to decide? The purest, what we think, what we feel. For me, Test cricket is the real test of a cricket player. But if the market decides against it, I mean, who am I?
Yeah. Harish, do you think the IPL will now have to expand to justify the kind of money riding on it? I mean, will 74 games be enough? You need to pull that much more out of it in terms of eyeballs, advertisement, viewership, etc.
Yes, I think there will be a need for it. And I think that need will be felt 2, 3 years down the line. But for now, I think everybody has to manage with 74 games. And if you really look at it, I think a lot of the teams will put their time, energy, and money to build franchise, to build the fact that, hey, there's nothing called one cricket anymore. There used to be one cricket, which was, one nation playing another nation. We just had one of our fixtures, the India-Pakistan match kind of a feel, but that's gone now. One is really talking about it getting micro to the level of a city. So city passions are going to be stoked. When you go more local and when you stoke city passions, I mean, there's plenty of money to be milked by teams. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't know what Lucknow team is going to be called, but I mean, the Nawabs of Lucknow or the Lucknowi Nawabs or RCB has got its own Bengaluru kind of a connect. Kolkata Knight Riders has a Kolkata connect, and the Mumbai Indians have a Mumbai connect. So it's going to be city versus city. And I think there's plenty more money because there are so many cities. Let's say 10 cities instead of one India versus one other nation. So I think, this fight is so it's going to be city versus city. And guess what? Subliminally, it's corporate versus corporate. Okay. And in the sense that, the corporate that owns the city rules the city, or at least that's the theme. Okay. Funny theme. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned that subliminal message because it's lurking there somewhere. If you see all of the very aggressive bids for some of the teams, it is a badge of honor that all of the big conglomerates want to wear. Thank you so much, Atul and Harish Bijur, for joining us on this show today. Let's just play out for you an excerpt of that interview with Sanjeev Goenka to ET Now.
The valuations for this franchise will clearly grow. You will see, we hope you will see some innovative marketing from us. You will see some innovative branding from us. But work needs to begin now. We have a team in place from our Pune experience, and that team has to get on to working now in right earnest. We don't have too much time. So they have to work 24/7 to give shape to our aspirations.
Unlike Pune, now you're going to be from Lucknow. Now, the state of UP can be the size, they say, of 7 countries. Is that going to be also a game changer of sorts?
I believe it can be. It's just such a huge hinterland, and there is no big sporting activity as yet which is housed in Lucknow. So this will be the first time a sport like IPL will be played in Lucknow, with Lucknow having a team. And I do believe that can create a lot of emotional connect.
What are some of the lessons you may have learned from your Pune experience, which you will put to use in Lucknow?
That having a young team does not mean you are not capable of winning. In Pune, we had a very young team. You had players like Rahul Chahar, Washington Sundar, Deepak Chahar, Shardul Thakur, all of whom are national level players today, who sort of got their prominence initially with Rising Pune Supergiant. You can actually build a fighting unit with a young team. So I think that was the big learning. And that is what we will try and see if we can redo.